Slow stitching can be such a lovely mindful practice to take on board, especially this time of year when there's so much going on. So I thought this lovely little art doll, it's actually a Christmas angel, would be a really nice project for us to do this Christmas time. These little faces are available to buy in my Etsy shop, but I have done this template for you and you can download that and print in. It's actually got the face that I used today on there, so that's printable as well. Now I'm using this lovely silk fabric and it's actually from an old wedding dress, and I've gone ahead and washed it and ironed on some of the cotton batting, and that's brilliant because it actually stabilizes the fabric and stops it from fraying as well. Now the silk is so lovely and soft, it makes such a pleasure to sew this type of project, so I'd highly recommend using silk, but obviously it's from a recycled source, and there are lots of other fabrics that you could use for this instead. Now I've put the materials and the tools that you need here so you can see what sort of things you're going to need, but it's just general sewing things, so scissors, needle, some thread, a bit of glue stick helps to hold things in place before sewing, and also I am using some crochet thread because it's a bit stronger, and that's really good for making the face because you do have to pull the fabric really taut. So once you gather your materials, then just use the templates to cut out the items that you need. I'm using a slightly thicker wadding for the face itself, so it makes it a little bit puffier, and also some mount board for the back of the face because that makes it easier to pull the fabric around it. Now when I cut out the fabric, I'm using the silk, and like I say, it has got that wadding, that batting stuck to the back of it already, so that does make it a lot easier to cut out. So once you've got all your pieces cut out and you're ready to go, then gather up your supplies and make sure you've got your little face. Now I have done an option for you to do the face in just some embroidery floss, so there's just a little smiling face there for you if you don't like to use the doll face, because I know some people find it a bit creepy. Now I've provided wings with this particular art doll because it's supposed to be a little Christmas angel, and I did find that if you print the wings off onto the paper using a laser printer, you can actually use that as an iron-on template. So you put it face down because it's using toner, you put it face down onto your fabric and you iron on top of that, and then it leaves an impression. So you can see there that the wing image has actually gone onto the silk, and that makes it really nice and easy to then quilt through and sew around. So for the face, I'm using a little piece of mount board and I'm just gluing on a little bit of the thicker wadding, and that's just some polyester wadding, and then what I do is use the fabric that I've cut out for the face, which is I think it's just a cotton, and that's already got some wadding with it, the slightly thinner wadding, and I use the crochet thread to sew all the way around the outside of that circle and then pull it tight, and that then pulls it onto the piece of card, that piece of mount board, and it makes this lovely sort of puffy button, so like this one here. And because it's mount board, it's really easy to sort of pull it around. Now I did find when I did subsequent faces like this, if I go round several times with the crochet cotton, just sew all the way around again and then pull it tighter and tighter, you get a really, really nice finish. Now on top of the little button that we've made there, the little squishy button, I'm actually going to cut out my little face, and because it's printed onto cotton, I'm going to cut out that little face, stick it on with a little bit of glue stick, and then sew all the way around the outside for running stitch, and that holds it in place. And then what I do is go and get those beads, and I add lots of lovely beads around the face, and that frames it in this gorgeous sort of iridescent, sparkly light, which is sort of part of its halo. So I thought that was really pretty, and I really like the effect of that. These aren't very expensive beads, you could use crystal beads if you like, but I think it just gives a lovely effect, a little shimmery effect. It's quite unusual, so I quite like that. And then you can just go ahead and sew that on when you finish making the body. So this is what she looks like, and I think she's very cute. Right, on to making the body. So what I do, because I've already got the wadding cut out with the silk itself, I just put the silk sides together, the right sides together, and then I sew down either side of the body shape, and I'm leaving the top, the neck, open, and I'm leaving the base of the skirt open as well, and that then makes it nice and easy to turn the right way around when I've sewn it, because what we're going to do is the same thing with the halo. We're going to put the right sides together, we're going to sew all the way round the outside, but leaving a gap so we can turn it the right way round. Then what you will do is you'll notice that when you've turned them the right way round, there's like a little bit of the fabric will be sort of puffed out at the bottom, you will be able to slot that into the top of the angel's neck effectively and just sew it straight across. And then the base is just left open so that you can put it onto your tree if you like. And I just sew down each side, just making little sort of arms, and to me it looks like she's got her hands in her pockets, and I just really like that look. And it's quilted because I've done it all the way through, and it makes it the same on both sides, but it's open at the bottom because I'm going to add some bits on the bottom there. And she can go onto a tree, but obviously, you know, what you could do is sew it, you could stuff it so that she stands up as well. So I'm going to sew her head onto there as well. Now, the wings are, they've got some stripes on there, so you can quilt those, and that gives a really nice effect. And I basically just did the same thing as with the body. I sewed around the edge, but I left the base, the bottom of the wings completely open, so it's really easy to turn the right way out. And I just left those raw edge. The act of quilting the wings using those markings there, it seals the wings up, but it just leaves a nice raw edge on the end, and that's quite nice because it's a little bit fluffy with the batting coming out at the bottom. So at the base here, I just wanted to add a little bit of the original lace from the wedding dress, just to sort of keep it true to the wedding dress, because it's to be a good recycling project. Like I say, you could stuff her with some polyester wadding if you wanted to, and then maybe pop a little edge on that skirt, maybe pop a base on the skirt, and that way she would stand up. But I've got her sort of sat in front of my pens at the moment. She stands up quite nicely already, just leaning against something. It's really easy to sew her head on because obviously there's the cotton at the back of there, so just sew that onto the front of the halo, sew the wings onto the back, and hey presto, you've got your beautiful angel. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'll link below where you can get hold of the template. Take care everyone, and Merry Christmas. Bye.